of local governments that are leading. But in the examples we've seen, yun pong sa Catholic Relief Services, those are LGU-led po. So what their project has done is to help the local governments identify a menu of NBS options, and then they gave it to the LGUs to use. So they can use it for investment planning, for fundraising, for their own budgeting and planning at the local level. So it was really giving sort of capacity and information and data to the LGUs to do what they want with those NBS options. I think there were already some LGUs that have used it. Wala lang po sa amin yung information at the moment, but those are cities. So in particular, I think Iloilo is one of their model LGUs that have taken up the NBS that were assessed. Dun sa other projects naman po namin, the examples from Forest Foundation experience, because we cannot give grants to the government, so that's one of our limitations. But the LGUs in most examples are very involved. They provide data or technical assistance to the community organization. So for example, the municipal NRO or the CENRO is heavily involved in designing the project, in providing their existing assessments, financial management. So even if the LGU is not the holder of the funds, they are there to closely work with the implementer. And we've seen po that those are usually better implemented, more sustainable, because the government supports the community organizations very closely. So yung San Carlos na example po, the San Carlos City government has, I think, a record number breaking of SGLG already. So the San Carlos Development Board could very easily work with the local government to implement their project. And baka quickly lang po on the private sector, there's a lot of interest actually from the private sector, from development banks, from companies who are interested in NBS. We've been part of the Blue Economy discussions then po with the DNR, and also part of the Blue Carbon Action Plan, NBCAP. And they've held some investors forums, discussions. And I don't want to generalize because very complex din po yung discussions. But it seems that there's a bit of a gap between what private sector and development banks or finance institutions consider as bankable. Yung parang, okay, this is a safe investment because they're investments. And because we're dealing with ecosystems, longer returns, higher risk because of climate change, anthropogenic causes, etc. Sometimes it's hard to meet the expectations of the investors to be able to say na, okay, in 2 years, babalik na sa'yo yung carbon or yung ecosystem service, mame-measure na natin. Nag-regenerate na yung forest or you know, the blue carbon is now thriving and can be measured, ganyan. Because they are volatile, diba? Ecosystems are volatile. So, there seems to be a gap between what is readily investable or easy to invest in because the time frames are longer, the risk is higher, and what communities who are vulnerable, who need the help now, can meet. So a lot of the discussion when we talk about investment in NBS, that's what we've been hearing. But the investors are saying, but we're ready. We just need a pipeline of projects and we'll be, you know, cash out. But in reality, operationally speaking, it's a bit more complex. But according to the private sector, they are interested.
Actually, this is very viable, actually, no, especially for private sectors who are also stakeholders in that particular area. So, for example, Cagayan de Oro, no, kami yung first district sa Bukidnon, kami nasa amin yung watershed. If we don't take care of our watersheds, they will be negatively affected. No, but there are significant number of investors, I mean, businesses in Cagayan de Oro who will be adversely affected. Diba? So, madali yun siguro i-champion sa kanila kung yung investment nila will actually save them in terms of avoided costs, diba, later on or in the future, no? So, anyway, sige kung Ana.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Last question. Of the NBS examples you gave, are any of them the result of debt for nature swaps? And if so, what are those?
Yung sa example, just quickly po, tama yun, sir. So, I think we need to be able to show the impact. That it's not theoretical. So I think it again goes back to evidence to show na in 5 years, if we don't protect these mangroves or if we don't address drought, this is in monetary terms, this is what the negative impact will be. So the assessment and measurement, the baselines po is key. Yung examples po namin, ma'am, Kong Ana, wala pong debt for nature swap. Strictly speaking, because the projects po ng Forest Foundation are funded by the Government of Canada, which is a grant from the Government of Canada to the Forest Foundation. But maybe more broadly, yung core funding po ng Forest Foundation is actually a debt for nature swap between the US and Philippine governments. So our broader support, institutionally, the foundation exists because of 2 debt for nature swaps between the US and the Philippine government. So, indirectly, the projects are supported by that arrangement, but the specific funds that we're able to give for our NBS projects po are from the Canadian government.
I have some questions also, but I think some of them were kind of reworded by Kong Ana, but I'll ask them anyway since I wrote them down during your presentation. Are there any baseline studies being studied at each site to measure ecological and social change in those NBS projects you mentioned? And how do you ensure consistency and comparability of data collected from diverse ecosystems?
Thank you po, Kong Tolentino, for the question. So I can speak for the projects po ng Forest Foundation. In our 6 priority areas, yes, we conducted 3 types of assessments: vulnerability and risk assessment, a gender-based analysis, and knowledge, attitudes, and practices analysis to understand how people process information, how they learn, kasi may capacity building component din po. So those are proven very important because we asked our proponents for our project, for those who submitted project proposals, to respond to the results of the assessment. Because obviously there are many social issues that can be addressed, but we wanted to make sure that the projects they proposed for NBS implementation responded to climate risks and gender issues, because those are our targets, and biodiversity. Sorry, may biodiversity assessment din po, and marine biodiversity assessment. Those were for our sites. We also did a thematic call for proposals that was not site-specific, so national, to open to anybody, but we asked those proponents to submit their own assessments. So it's either existing assessments na coming from international sources or local assessments. And I think that's a good segue put to the second element of the comparability, which is it's very hard because the assessments don't exist in most places. Yung vulnerability and risk assessments, not a lot of local governments have it. It depends on whether they commission those studies themselves as part of their planning processes, or maybe nagkataon may nag-research na university or other institution that did the research there, or like ours, a project that actually conducted it as part of the program. But even when we did our vulnerability and risk assessment, it was very hard so we partnered for that with UPLB INREM and UP Resilience Institute and SESAM. Yeah, so we partnered basically with the UP Los Baños. Even these are already researchers used to doing these assessments. In some of the examples, it was hard for them to get data from the local level, kahit basic information, because those researches had not been done previously. So it depends on the resources available, on the interest maybe of the local stakeholders, because it also requires resources po. Hindi siya it takes a lot of resources to conduct those studies. So even in the ones that we already supported the conduct of the assessments, the availability of data also differed. So baka po yung comparability, it's really from locality to locality. But maybe because the interventions are very localized, at the moment, we don't need very comprehensive data. It has to respond to the scale that we're looking at.
In addition to that po, siguro, dun din papasok yung tinatanong din ni Kong Ana, na yung need for, parang how do you measure the success? Kasi, di ba? So, dun po pumapasok yung baselines. We have to know the baselines first para alam natin kung paano tayo mag-measure ng impact. So, yung monitoring and evaluation po natin, hindi lang siya darating sa huli. From the start, kailangan alam mo na, at hindi siya, alam mo na kung ano yung tina-target mo. Paano mo sasabihin successful lang is ang proyekto nyo, kasi alam niyo yung baselines nyo. At hindi po siya, tawag dito, na parang kayo lang yung nag-decide. It has to be consulted with the experts, with the communities. It has to be a multi-stakeholder approach po dun sa ating, parang how do we create those measures. So, dun din po papasok pala yung, parang in terms of future use ng public funds, syempre ito pong mga proyekto po na funded by developmental organizations, these are good opportunity po kasi magkakaroon na po tayo ng case studies. Then, mas magkakaroon po yung mga businesses, private sector, ng makabil po tayo ng business case. So, parang mas malilesen yung risk nila, mas malilesen din yung kaba nila na baka hindi talaga sila mag-incur ng profit. So, I think po, yun po yung mas magandang gawin din ng government ngayon before they look into possibly funding nature-based solutions. Very good opportunity po ngayon kasi napakadami na nating examples.
Thank you, ma'am. Before we proceed, we'd like to invite Greenpeace. Any word from Greenpeace, no? Any comment?
Thank you,
ma'am.
sir. So Greenpeace po is here because we joined the briefing session with the Forest Foundation, the Philippines. But in general, Greenpeace is supportive of NBS as a way to provide solutions for the environmental and climate crisis. Large part of our work is work with communities, those that are highly impacted by the climate crisis. And if the project is having the communities at the core and they are the ones leading it, as you mentioned, sir, a while ago, dapat po yung participation talaga nila, and they will have ownership of it as well and tailored fit sa kanila. Also would like to maybe just say that it would be good kung sa mga monitoring and evaluation, makita rin po kasi yung baka corporate driven siya, and then it might lose the essence of having corporate community participation in it, which is supposed to be at the heart of the NBS as part of the solutions. Yun lang po. Thank you very much for the opportunity. My colleague Jeff would like to add something as well.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So, just to reiterate then what VG said, actually we've also been working with community-driven approaches sa Kinapondan, sa Mercedes, sa Eastern Samar, no? And the clamor for these kinds of solutions is there, no? And I think one key issue has been scalability.